This week's episode, we're going to talk about, recently, you may have seen that a record-breaking £184 million was won by a couple in the UK on the Euro Millions, which prompted us the question, what the fuck would you do if you won £184 million?
If I ever won the lottery, I wouldn't tell anyone.
Would you continue to do the podcast?
I'm Adam.
And I'm Josh.
And welcome back to the Breaking Bread podcast, which, according to esteemed listener Ashley Jackson, is very funny and surprisingly informative too. I'll take that. Yeah?
Average at best.
How you doing? In that last episode, I didn't even ask you how you're doing because I've seen you every day for the past 4 fucking days. But it's still the same, but I just thought...
Does Mrs. Beer think you're having an affair? Or has she got to see the back of you?
I don't think she cared, to be honest, you know. Take me for half I'm worth, right? Common law and all that.
Mate, I'm all right. I feel better today than I did yesterday. I was a broken man by the time we got back from London. But I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. Are we paying lip service to the fact that this was filmed directly after the last episode?
I wasn't going to acknowledge it.
You weren't going to do that because I don't want to look like I'm wearing the same gear every time. Although I love the fit on these t-shirts. It makes me look hench as hell. So maybe I'll get like 6 or 7 of them.
You should do, yeah.
Shout out to my good friend Kieran at Chopperhead's Barber Club, where I get my beard trimmed. That's 2 in a row you got for free, so I want a free haircut next time.
Well, today I should probably say, believe it or not, we haven't got a Spotify deal yet. I'm going to keep bringing this. I'm going to keep beating that drum.
Even after all that ego.
You know what? I actually stopped fucking beating the drum for a while. I was like a little bit despondent until I got the email. I'm like, shit, I better fucking carry this on, Anna. But yeah, we haven't got one yet.
The guy actually at the Spotify event said to keep making that gag at the beginning.
Did he?
Yeah. Well, with a smile on his face, like, shut the fuck up, stop making that gag. But
so today, as we said in previous podcast, we're going to pull a comment or something from the previous or one of the previous videos. And what I wanted to touch on was the one comment from Mr. Chaz AR. And now, do you remember the episode that we did about Beard being a banker? So you working in what's his face, Wolf of Wallbeard. At the end of that podcast, I thought it was a really good one, but we did get a little bit like uninspirational speakers toward the end. Like, I think our intention was good in the sense of we wanted to motivate in some capacity people to make change should they wish to. However, we didn't, a bit of an own goal, we didn't really envisage somebody within the financial sector listening to it at the same age as what we said that Adam was about to lose his mind. So Chaz AR commented to say, but me, a 31-year-old office worker in the financial sector, reassessing my life after this.
What's his first name? Chaz?
Chaz, yeah.
Chaz.
No, I don't know. Chaz or Char? Chaz, sorry.
Chaz. There's probably still space in the online. Sorry, I just got a text message. It's really unprofessional of me. I just like to check it in case someone's died. Nobody's died. Yeah, it's still time, man. Join me on the eating... Nah, don't join me on the eating circuit. Stay in your nice, secure job. Or if you've got another passion, pursue it.
I did feel bad reading that comment, though, because we were like almost the success... Like a bit of a success story in a sense of that we both took the massive leap to pursue something that we were passionate about and being somewhat successful in it, and in the sense of that we're not... still gainfully employed by someone else.
I meant it. I'm not taking any of the responsibility if you quit and then you can't get another job.
But yeah, thanks for commenting and thanks for watching. And sorry. This week's episode, we're going to talk about recently. You may have seen that a record-breaking £184 million was won by a couple in the UK on the Euro Millions, which prompted us the question, what the fuck would you do if you won £184 million? And what I want to touch on the article first, because I've got a couple of questions that in my mind that comes off the back of it. But this is how it goes. A married couple from Gloucester have been revealed as the winners of the biggest Euro Millions jackpot of £184 million. Joe and Jess Thwaite, that's the couple, 49-year-old and 44-year-old, couple of kids. They've got a salon, they found out they've bagged all that cash and they've bought themselves a new house for them and the kids and the ponies, which is really nice. But the question that really...
They've already got ponies?
Yeah, they already had ponies.
Which kind of implies that they're rich already.
Yeah.
Are ponies expensive?
I would imagine. Nay. Nay, the cheap as fuck, lad.
Maybe, I don't know. Ponies are probably pretty cheap. Horses are expensive.
Ain't a pony just a little horse, though? Like, it's grown up?
It's not, is it? No.
Nah?
No.
Oh, like a Shetland pony. Have you seen them? You're like the fucking equivalent of a Shetland pony walking around.
What, because I'm little and strong?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Little and dense. Yeah, so they've got ponies and bought themselves a big old, I can't remember what they said, like maybe 5 million quid house or 3 million quid house.
What they're doing with it, look, if you want somewhere to spend the remaining 175 million or whatever it is, then if you've got any businesses, or you could even just sponsor the podcast for a laugh. Because if I had that much money, I'd be doing stuff for a laugh.
Yeah, do you want to chuck us a milli? But what really stood out to me was, so the previous winner, the previous jackpot high winner in the UK was, I think, about 160 million or 150 million. He said on an article that I've turned off now. But the person remained anonymous.
As you would. That's what we were talking about this very briefly.
So but that's what I want to pose to you and even George. Actually, we'll get George involved in this. George, if you won if you won £1 million, would you want anybody to know? Any of your would you want strangers to know that you've won a fucking million quid?
Not strangers, family. Okay, friends, maybe like the close group, but nothing past that.
But imagine so they've got all the press run. So
I'd be shit scared, mate.
Yeah, imagine doing the press run and you're holding the big fucking check with 184 million quid.
By the way, in front of their easily identifiable current house. So even if they bought a new house, I can't imagine maybe they moved it straight away. I don't know, but.
So I pose the question to you.
I've been asked this before, not about this exact same example, but once my sister got really mad at me because I said if I ever won the lottery, I wouldn't tell anyone, I wouldn't tell one single soul if I won it.
Yeah?
Nah.
Whoa.
I'd just put it in the bank.
Adam could be a fucking...
No, but what I would say is I'd say, oh, by chance, you know what? The channel's going really well. Really well. So if you want something, if my sister wants something, ask me and I'll buy it for you. But I don't think I...
Would you tell Mrs. Beard?
If this is going in the cut, yeah, totally. I suppose I probably could. There'd be a point at which you probably couldn't avoid telling your very close family. I certainly wouldn't tell my friends. I wouldn't. Bearing in mind you're not under any obligation. It's like if you as part of the conditions of playing the lottery, you have to reveal your identity as a winner. All right. But you don't have to do. It's not like you say you can remain honest. So why on earth? It's a bit like conversations we've had before, like when Jimmy Hill was on. Why would you want to be known if you don't have to be known?
Yeah, I mean,
what do you gain from it?
Your notoriety, is enough to give me palpitations because, you get recognised all the fucking time, man. Like whenever we're out and about, you're quite a recognisable guy, but you get recognised a lot naturally because you've got fucking 2 million subscribers. I would hate to.
We keep rounding it up. It's not quite so.
I would hate to be recognised. I don't want that. If I were Jimmy Hill, well, we probably should reference Jimmy's exited his business and he then went public, publicly facing. If I'd have exited a business for multiple millions of pounds, you wouldn't ever see me again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm just scratching my. I've got an itch right in the middle of my back. George, do you want to get it? I'm joking. Yeah, I don't know. Especially I get motivations for people that they think having a public image will somehow facilitate their success, be it financial or otherwise. But if you've literally won a lottery, which is I don't know what it is, like 27 million to 1 or whatever, probably higher for Euro Millions. I don't understand what you have to gain unless you're one of those people that just want to be in a newspaper because you think it's cool, even though it's not cool. That's the only thing I could think. Why would you want people to know? Because you're going to get people asking you for money. People might, you might even just get people that are privy to private information. Like you got a name, people know you live in a certain area. Even people that just work for banks can probably see all your life history. So
I'd imagine, but think of how many DMs you get. Shit, I even get a fucking lot of DMs, like that. That's really hard to keep on top of. But imagine if you went, I've got 180 million pounds. Imagine the DMs. Imagine what you'd get.
Like when you gave away the drone.
Oh fuck me, man. That were fucking a £500 drone I gave away on my YouTube channel, and it was the worst experience of my life. It was fucking horrendous.
People just begging you for the drone.
Yeah,
my dad's dying. Give me a drone. It'll ease the pain.
It's not a fucking medical drone, is it? It was absolutely mental. So I guess George, you're out. Yeah, you're not gonna tell the public.
Not the public, no.
Nah,
a chance.
Adam fucking could be a millionaire. This cold-faced killer over here.
We've just. I wouldn't even tell Mrs. Beard, or I'd be very close to not telling her.
But in the spirit of actually trying to get a show together, I initially said, let's make a shopping list of how would you spend 184 million pounds, and then we quickly realised how the fuck could you spend it? Barring buying all my mates a fucking like Bugatti and
Even
some
then.
Rollies and a fucking house, like that is so much money. How the fuck can you get rid of 184 million pounds?
Unless you were actively somebody said you have to spend this money and you were just making shit up to spend it on. Like at least half of that could go to charity and you would know no difference. Probably 80% of it could.
Oh, easy.
So it's just an obscene amount of money. I'm not criticizing people for having won it or anything, but I'm just saying that I physically could not spend it. So you said, okay, well, we'll
I said 10 million. As I said, in the spirit of getting a show together, Adam, you've just won. Congratulations, little guy, you little Shetland pony. You've just won £10 million. Get your shopping list out, man. Tell me what you're going to buy.
Well,
I can imagine him stood next to a Shetland pony. It'd look like a fucking racehorse.
I'm getting sick to death of this now.
The DMs are the same, man. Everyone takes a piss out of your height.
I know. Anyway, am I telling you what?
Yeah, 10 million quick, come on.
It's going to be a bit of a stream of consciousness thing because I'm not entirely sure of what we might, as we talk, I might discover new things that I would buy. But I think it's probably even more difficult for me than the average person because I don't really buy stuff.
Yeah, you're
know?
not materialistic.
Obviously I buy clothes from time to time. But there's no point me saying, I'll buy some new jeans. You know? The first thing on my list, as you probably know about me, because I hate where I live, would be a really nice house. Now, I live in a nice house as it is. I think it's all right.
Yeah.
But I think, given that I spend a lot of time indoors, I would probably buy an exceptional. That would be the bulk of the purchase. Speaking of which, for some reason, I was on Twitter looking at my feed earlier on, and it showed a house I wouldn't move to Cornwall, but it happened to show a really nice house in Cornwall for £3 million that you could win, right? So I would probably buy a house I wouldn't buy one for like 20. I don't know how expensive really. Like if I went on Rightmove now, I don't know what the most expensive house in Yorkshire would be, but say I'd buy that. So it would have to be in the middle of nowhere. I've said this to you before. I want to live somewhere where if I go into cardiac arrest, nobody can find me and resuscitate me. That's how far I want to be from people, right?
So weirdly specific.
It's the only way I can rationalize that thing in my head.
What a fucking idiot.
So I don't want to have any neighbours, just want to have like bags of ground I can walk on. You know, I walk a lot.
Yeah. Like a Shetland pony.
For it to be, I might have some Shetland ponies outside, you know, size comparison. And I might, and it would be one with like really very ostentatious. I'd have like a very practical, but like it would be modern inside. I would have a big home gym in there.
Yeah.
You know, probably a swimming pool for Mrs. Birch, who likes to swim. Big cinema room or something like that, so I can watch my video. No, I don't watch my own videos. So I can watch one of Josh's videos on in the cinema room, and I think that'd probably be half of it gone, right? If I guess how's it expensive now? £5 million now.
Yeah, I reckon you're probably going to buy the biggest house in Yorkshire for £5 million.
Yeah, and I think probably the rest. I'm not going to, for the sake of putting the show together. I probably would just save the rest, right, and live off it. But like, if I need to spend
you're going to need to spend it.
Are we not going to do one item each, or am I?
No, I think you do your list.
I do my full list.
Yeah.
Right, probably thereafter. I guess I'd have to buy all the gear to get out of gym. I suppose that's probably inclusive in the first part.
Clenbuterol. You said gear, or like I thought.
No. I mean like
it's Clenbuterol. That's a gear thing, right? Isn't it?
Yeah,
like
you said, like you hang around with MMA fighters. Don't you? They probably know all about that. We're all natural over here, right, George? And
Poor George. We've seen his fucking arms on your music video. I thought we were a drumstick and it was his fucking forearm. Sorry, George.
Yeah, George he's slight, isn't he? He's like a greyhound.
He's a good-looking lad though. He's lean and he's got a nice beard. So.
He is. He's like a greyhound, right? He's built for speed. Yes, no, and it wouldn't even have to be a big gym. I'd just have like a half power rack, a couple of specialist bars. You know, I'm a very minimalist trainer. A punch bag with Josh's face on it, so I could smack the shit out of it a few times a week. Yeah, and that'd be that. I think I would buy a new car.
Yeah, what car would you buy?
This is where it gets interesting. I think I would buy or have made, if this is possible, because I don't know how I came across it a while back. I saw that there's a company which converts really old, like vintage cars, classic cars, into electric cars, in that they just kind of put like the battery bed on them.
Oh, yeah.
And so then you can have the chassis, I don't know what you call it, chassis or the body of an old car without the reliability issues of an old engine and all that stuff. So I think I've always really wanted, you know, like a proper old school, like a Cadillac, you know, those big fuck off things, like big cars. Because like, there's a line in Sin City, which is one of my favorite graphic novels and films where a character called Marv says modern cars all look like electric shavers. Which is true. There's not that much character to cars now. I don't think they look that cool. I'm not really into cars, but I think old like a 50s Cadillac, open top with a big bench seat on them. I'd get one of those, but maybe made into an electric vehicle because I'd have the cash to do it.
Yep.
I'd probably do that. It'd be really impractical to drive, right? But I think that'd be nice. And maybe this is making me look like a Howard Hughes kind of like loner type. I'd probably maybe buy a yacht, not a super yacht. I'm talking about like a little pleasure cruiser style thing. Because then when I got sick to death of your nonsense and Mrs. Beard's nonsense, I could just go to my yacht and just drift out to sea, anchor it in the middle of the sea, just stay there for the night, in peace and quiet. And I always kind of wanted to I don't know how to sail or drive a boat. What do you do with a boat? If it's not actually a sailboat, it's powered. You can't sail it, surely. Drive it?
Yeah, we'll say drive.
Yeah. I've always kind of wanted to. I don't like the sea. I'm not like a seafaring kind of bloke, despite what the beard might suggest. But I think that would be kind of neat to have. Although I live in a landlocked area.
Mate, I think you'd find peace at sea.
Yeah,
yeah, it is quite.
I like the idea.
It's pretty amazing being like so far out at sea that you look in all directions. There's no land. You've got no phone signal. There's something therapeutic about being at sea. Having done it for many years.
I think I like it. But I think if something went wrong, I'd have to have like a first mate or something that comes with me, maybe, because I just knows how
like a mate that's qualified to be at sea. And
I couldn't take you with me all the time. And so I've basically got a house and 2 vehicles.
Yeah,
one of which both of which I'm probably very rarely going to use. And short of that, I don't know. That's probably the bulk of it gone, right?
I'd say so. Yeah, I reckon.
And the rest I couldn't spend. I don't really buy stuff, I'd probably buy my family members stuff, I'd buy my mum like a new house maybe. I'd buy, I don't know. It's hard. I think I would have to be intentionally trying to, buy stuff that I don't necessarily need.
Fair cop, mate.
You do a few years, I might think of some more stuff.
All right. Well, it took some thinking as well because like £10 million is fucking shit ton of money. And the first thing I thought was. Similar to you, a house, but immediately, this is what I would do. My immediate family, I would pay off all their mortgages and give them like 50 grand cash.
50 grand, you tight fuck.
No, this thought process behind this, right? Like so this is that make or break thing. Isn't it? How generous would it be to pay off somebody's mortgage? It takes somebody a lifetime. It takes a couple a lifetime to pay off a mortgage. So like that's such a generous Sean Connery over here. Such a generous thing to do. And then like 50 grand cash is like, right, you've got it's a fucking wicked savings.
So it's kind of like you're not giving. That's a good point actually. I'm similar in that I wouldn't give my family members tons of money.
Yeah. Because
there's always that risk that at least one of them is going to go a bit mental and blow it all, and then
like it doesn't make sense. Like you could say I'll give them all 500 grand each or whatever, but I guess then the value of money gets lost. Whereas like you still my what I said to you about if I won 184 million pound, like. What purpose have you got then in life? Like not that your life is sort of driven towards money, but like it's a good purpose to, with the success, whatever you're trying to find, whether it be in YouTube or for your career, that financial.
It anchors a lot of people, doesn't it? The financial responsibility of things. I'd find something. I said to you when you asked me in a passing fashion yesterday about when we originally discovered the story about the woman or the couple that won tons of money. I'd still find some, like I said, that's another thing. I'd build a little recording studio in my house, I think, because I love music and I don't get enough time to play it. George is pricking up over there. Music producer over there, George. I'd do that. I'd buy like a really flash drum kit. I don't mean flash, like, for a really nice one.
Yeah.
Buy like SJC or one of those custom companies or something like that. Send us one if you want for free. I'll give you a shout out. Or something creative. I've always wanted to maybe learn how to paint, right? I watch a lot of Bob Ross, Happy Little Trees and all that to chill me out. I do something. I'm a creative person in nature, so I'd find something even if I had the money. I think that having the money just means that you don't have to worry about your bills, I guess.
Yeah. So for me, after I'd paid off the mortgages of my immediate family and given them a bit of cash, because then that'd be such a relief for them. I'd get myself a house, and it was same as you. I reckon, like, I don't know, fuck knows, 5 million quid. That's probably like the biggest house in Yorkshire, I would imagine.
What are you saying though? We didn't really fall in an area. I'd be out like, you know, kind of that kind of really rural area, kind of between Yorkshire and Lancashire. You know, you kind of like what would you call that? Not, I don't want to say like Oldham, but you know, like when you're in
I know what you mean, like
you're kind of on the way out
tops.
there, and there's a lot of rural areas, some nice villages. That's where I think I'd be at, maybe.
Yeah, I think like Ripponden area of that sort of way.
Slaithwaite and all that.
Slowett.
I'm just naming places now that I think are over there.
That's how it's pronounced though. Even though it's like written Slaithwaite, it's called Slowett.
Get the fuck out of town.
Yeah.
Shut
if
up,
you go there and you go, oh, I'm in Slaithwaite, you're gonna look a right prick.
No way. I don't believe you.
George, you've got family over in that country area, haven't you?
No,
All
I
right.
don't know that.
Slowett.
Slowett, yeah.
I mean, the Yorkshire dialect takes a lot of liberties with dropping, you know, certain letters and words, it sounds from words and phrases, but that's not. Somebody in the comments let us know that. Lindsay's got a colleague at work who is from there.
I've got on Google. It can do the pronunciation. Let's see if we can hear it.
It's obviously going to say Slaithwaite.
Slathwaite.
It's definitely not Slowett. You're a different.
How do
level.
locals pronounce it?
You're a different level of Yorkshire.
Yeah, look, Slowit, Slawit, SLA-wit, Slowit. It's never. It literally says, but never Slaithwaite.
Well, it's Slaithwaite to me because I'm nowhere near as Yorkshire as you.
All right,
It's a different level.
What are you saying? Something about Linz?
She has a friend that lives there and she calls it Slaithwaite. She lives there.
I don't believe you.
Well,
You're a liar.
all right. Is that the end of the podcast?
That's the end of the podcast.
Trust is gone now.
Yeah, so let's say 5 million. So I reckon paying off the immediate family's mortgages and giving a bag of cash, I reckon that's like $1 million gone.
Yeah.
I'd say so. Pretty confidently. So I'd get a £5 million house, and what I would want is I would want a big garage to put cars in and shit. I'd also want a big gym, a pool, a sauna.
What would you do with a gym?
Take photos for Instagram, obviously.
Go on,
I'd tag myself in my own gym. Hashtag kids.
Then people would know what it was, where it was.
Oh shit, yeah, I wouldn't do that. I'd fucking delete social media. But I've always wanted a sauna. I really enjoy a sauna.
That's interesting.
Like I thoroughly enjoy it. It's got really good benefits to
What do you enjoy about a sauna?
It's warm.
Just enjoy getting really hot.
Yeah, but it's good for your body. Like,
What sense?
Apparently, it's got like it increases your internal temperature, which is good for fighting off sort of diseases and shit. I heard Joe Rogan talk about it once, but anyway, I enjoy.
Must be true then.
I enjoy a sauna, and then I would get a mat in my gym. I'd get some weights to look at, and I'd get a matted area to do some jujitsu.
So we can have a roll now and then when we have a disagreement.
Yeah, and it was getting closer. You keep like flinching and like throwing jabs at me and stuff. And I'm like, I'm gonna fuck you up one day.
So keep me on your toes.
Just some more coffee anyway. Here you go.
Go on, give some breaking beans. Is that Yorkshire enough for you?
And I'd have like a little corner because I'd want to do some of my triathlons. Like I would want to complete an Ironman.
Am I saving some breaking beans?
No,
for
you're
you
right. I'm all right.
Yeah.
I want to complete an Ironman one day, and that would actually facilitate the time because the amount of time you have to put into training for that is you couldn't fucking work. Do you know what I mean? You'd struggle, especially with a kid and a family. I want an outdoor kitchen, which we spoke about before. I'd really like an outdoor, I want a fucking big outdoor kitchen and a big, really nice area to sit outside when it's sunny. But internally, I want a really big kitchen with like a big island because like I've always joked that you've made it in life when you've got a big fucking kitchen island, you know,
so is that
like what you would get in America.
That's your metric of success.
That's my metric. Like if somebody posts a picture on Instagram and they've got a fucking island in the kitchen, the ballers, man.
It's funny you should say outdoor kitchen because actually, I hate where I live, right? So very periodically, I'll go through these periods where I want to move like imminently. And Lindsay and I went to see this, Mrs. Beard and I went to see this. No, I've got to call Lindsay because somebody said I was a misogynist.
Oh, yeah,
because I call her Mrs. Beard, even though it's a gag. Same way that I call my dad Papa Beard. R.I.P. But, I just to show that I'm not in any way sexist. We went to see a house that had a big outdoor kitchen. It was the weirdest thing. Like, the outdoor kitchen was so big, it was like a commercial kitchen, bigger than some commercial kitchens I've seen. Outdoors.
That's mad.
I just thought it was such.
I wonder if like for that to become useful, you'd have to get like a chef in to use it. Do you know what I mean? Like
it looked like it had never been used almost. Do you know what I mean? Like, and the guy that it was built by some guy, and then a couple had bought the thing and they said we never use it. And I was looking at it thinking I would never use it. I just convert. It was kind of covered, so I'd turn it into some kind of outhouse. But yeah, I don't get outdoor kitchens are kind of. I think you would maybe have those somewhere just constantly hot. Maybe you're in Australia or something. It's always kind of reasonably good weather.
I mean, we do have the occasional good day in England. I think it'd be worth it at that point to have and also
7 days a year.
Yeah, all 7 days. And a pizza oven. I want a pizza oven outside.
That's cool. Actually, yeah, add that to mine. A big fuck off one, like the biggest pizza oven ever made. That's the video title in itself. I made the biggest pizza oven ever.
Yeah.
78-inch pizzas.
Would you still do YouTube if you won the lottery?
No, yeah, I probably would, but my video frequency would be lower, I think, and I probably would lower. Does that make sense? But I would. I'd probably create less and try and put way more. You'd have the freedom to put more effort into.
You'd do like the Mr. Beast shit, wouldn't you? Like you could, no,
I'd never do that.
Not in like the scatty shit, but I mean like you've got them. Do you know what I mean? Like you could build a fucking island or some shit.
Welcome to today's video. No, I don't think I would put in the sense that I would probably do things which maybe I'd get a crew involved with some more videos, for a bit more freedom.
Would you bollocks, mate? Like
Nah,
you
right,
fucking wouldn't. Like, I've been on shoots with you, man. You need to do it yourself.
I'd do the same thing, George. Was it George that asked me, or was it you?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Anyway,
Yeah, I did.
was it you, George? Okay.
Yeah, I'd want a nice big back garden, not to put Shetland ponies in, but it'd be cool to have like a cool garden for the child, somewhere to play out. I can play out as well.
That was nice soft grass for when you throw her around and she falls over and stuff.
Yeah. And then, so I've also said my goal in life is to one day own a house that this table that we sit at would fit in there comfortably. Like this table is so big that you'd need a massive house for this to look normal in it. Because it's a fucking big old table, isn't it?
You're very sweary today, aren't you? I think you just said fucking twice in the space of one sentence.
Sorry, it's that breaking beans. It's like kicked in.
I mean, it's a big table, yeah. I don't know that you would need that big of a house. I mean, you need a big house, but not.
Mate, it won't fit in my house now.
But you don't have a huge house now, do you? That would fit in my kitchen. It wouldn't look that weird. It's not that much bigger than the table I've got in my kitchen.
You've got a bigger house. Anyway, cars. So garage, like I'm not materialistic in this. Maybe I am. Oh God!
Come on,
this is it.
We're always driving. Whenever we go anywhere, you're always like, "Look at that car! Look at that car!"
It's like therapy. No, so
and with your watches and whatnot.
Yeah,
You're gonna get onto watches.
Yeah, well, I was going to say watches. Yeah, so I like cars. I've always said I'd love a Range Rover. I'd like a Range Rover Sport or like a Vogue. Like the big thing.
That's pretty low down though in terms of cost.
Yeah,
cost to like you're not saying like a McLaren or whatever.
No,
that's a car, right?
Yeah. So apparently,
can you buy those? They're like F1 cars or something.
You can buy like racing cars.
You can get McLarens.
Yeah.
A Range Rover, apparently a new Range Rover Vogue is £180,000, which is a lot of money in it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I've always seen Aston Martins and gone like, there's an Aston, I think it's a Vanquish, and I'm like, that's a fucking beautiful. Like, it looks like a work of art.
Is that the one that James Bond drives?
I think he drives a Vantage. If I'm wrong now, people in the comments are going to be like, you're a dickhead. Anyway, but apparently an Aston Martin Vanquish costs £400,000.
I could never drive a car like that. I'm a pretty good driver, and I wouldn't because you're gonna. I suppose you wouldn't care if you had that much money.
No,
but I'd be worried about I'm gonna bash it, and it's gonna cost me tons to repair and stuff.
But I suppose you could just screw it up for it, bin and get another one.
I guess you could.
I know we're on 10 million, we're not 184 million now. But I'd still wear like my £25 jeans and my Vans t-shirts. However, as I said, I like watches, so I'd probably get a couple of nice watches.
People think it's weird that I've never in my life worn a watch. I don't get it. I just don't understand it. Especially these days when you've got like, I didn't wear a watch when, mobile phones weren't a thing. I said to you in London, didn't I? Said, you just look up and you can guess roughly what time of day it is.
Can you fuck me? Oh, you Crocodile Dundee. Oh, yeah. Do you know what I mean? What, are you taking the piss?
No, by the position of the sun in the sky, you know what time of year it is.
If I'm fucking London, all I could see was spawn on the trees and concrete.
Yeah, but I've never got watches, right? I just don't get the utility in them. I mean, obviously I know what they're for, but I just don't wear them.
Yeah, because you mugged me off last time, didn't you? We spoke about it, and I said that I like looking at. I like watches. I don't know why. It's just one of those things. It's quite a common thing. And you looked at me like I had two fucking heads, coming from the weirdest guy in the room, who's the competitive. Like out of everything, you became a competitive eater. Like that's not normal in the UK. I bet it's more normal for people to enjoy watches than competitive eating.
You're losing the context of. I said we were talking about hobbies, and you said my hobby is watches. I'm like, that's not a hobby.
No.
That's like collect. If you
Just
want to
an
collect
interest.
watches, that's why I looked at you weird because I thought, how can hobbies watches be? Watchmaking is a hobby, cool, but you can't just say
I like watches.
I like watches. I like coffee, but it's not a hobby, you know.
It is. It's a business, mate. You're in the
Coffee brewer, me, mate.
You're in the beans business. And then from a traveling perspective, so I would go everywhere. At
It's not
least
buying
first
you told
class.
me it had to be a material thing we were
Oh
buying.
shit! Right, by plane.
Like John Travolta used to have like a plane on the runway.
Oh yeah, maybe I've got. So, but this don't quite count. But I'd go everywhere first class, regardless of cost, because I despise flying. Like I'm not a fan at all. So the comfort, I imagine, I've never flown first class, but I imagine it's pretty fucking sick.
I've never flown first class. So the difference in this is that you get your economy, premium economy, business class.
Yeah, and then
Most planes don't actually have first class, but some do.
Right.
You can't fly first class everywhere. It's just the case that, like, if you go to Dubai, right, a lot of the planes have first class,
yeah,
which is where you got like a bed or a shower or, whatever it is. Those are ones that Casey
saw
Neistat
that
does
case.
all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
I don't think I'd waste it on first class. I mean, but to me, I go business class because it's deductible, right?
Yeah.
But I only buy that for the comfort of A, having my own personal space, and B, being able to recline a bit. I don't think I'd need a bed or, my own private suite or whatever.
I'd take it. I would take that.
I suppose if you're trying to actively spend money, maybe, but
And that's it. I think I couldn't actually think of anything else. Would you continue to do the podcast?
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that says a lot. That doesn't it?
Possibly, I don't want to do it. I'd still do things creatively. I wouldn't. I don't do. I mean, we don't do this for money, do we? What difference does the money make? Of course, it would. We could get I could buy us a nice new set. Actually, if I won the money, I'd probably put a lot of it into. I'd probably buy Red Cinema cameras and stuff like that, and a lot of business gear. I'd buy a fucking what's the best drone? Like some Mad Phantom drone or something, which can shoot in 8K. I get the new Mac, the Studio Mac, which can doesn't overheat, so you can cook eggs on it when you render a bit of 1080p with some motion blur.
I think given what's at our disposal currently, we've got quite a wicked set. But it kind of is what it is. When we saw that I'm Alex's set, and it's like
I just like you trying to put the word wicked into it, so you seem young. Yeah, we got the shallow depth of field thing going on, right?
Yeah,
because you're a cinematographer, which I like. But his is like a talk show style.
Yeah.
Which I also like.
I mean, I'd be the same as you. I'd want to still do stuff creatively. I did enjoy sort of drawing and painting and that when I was younger, so I'd probably get back into that. Philanthropy as well. Can I give the money away? Can I buy shit for people? And
you can, but you look a total dick by saying, "Oh, I'd give it all to charity."
no. But
Not, I'm saying that there's anything wrong. I'm just saying
But I think the freedom that had come from if you if you met someone or you heard of something where somebody were falling on hard times and you know that
you could give them some cash. Yeah, but
that'd be quite a nice thing.
Again, you told me it was all we had to be material
sorry,
stuff.
I've gone wrong way.
I think we said at the beginning, if you won even 10 million, you're going to get. Well, I would give a portion to charity, right? I think I would feel bad not doing that.
Yeah.
But everyone's different on that.
But even with all that stuff that I've just said there, I don't think I've spent 10 million quid.
No, I don't know how you could. What would you do with 180 million quid, man? Was it 180 million?
184 million pound.
I mean, you'd be over the moon, but it's almost like it's kind of cumbersome in itself that you do. What do you do with it? I'd start businesses and stuff. I keep telling you I'd love to open a commercial gym, but like a small kind of boutique. Not boutique makes it sound kind of in the sense that we wouldn't be just a gym everyone could go to. I'd have them playing rock music and whatnot, different to most gyms, and I'd have very specific equipment, and it would be in terms of footprint quite small. I'll tell you what I would do. I've just had a thought now. I'd buy. George is probably too young. You're probably too cool. But do you remember there was a bar in Leeds called The Cockpit? People listening to this will know.
Yeah, I remember the Cockpit.
Yeah, it was like a rock bar in Leeds, and it closed down. I think because it became structurally unsound. It's under the train tracks on the way out of Leeds, right?
Yeah.
But it's like an iconic bar, a bit like CBGB's of Leeds, right? And that's empty now. I would buy that. Paid because I think that the reason it's empty is that it would cost too much to make it structurally sound again.
Yeah.
But if I had 184 million, cost was no object, I'd buy that and I'd preside over it. I think
That'd be pretty cool. That.
I think I quite like that. I'd probably open restaurants and whatnot. I'd have a restaurant chain, a bit like Mr. Beast, but good. Yeah, I'm thinking of all kinds of stuff now. If I could put it into, I think I was thinking the personal things I want.
Yeah.
I'd put it into, businesses and whatnot, I think.
You could do your own like film festival. That'd be pretty cool.
I'd buy Major League Eating, kick out Joey Chestnut, Matt Stoney, kick everyone out so I'm number one.
Give myself number one spot. Man.
You could buy a football team probably for 184 mil.
Like Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds bought Wrexham, didn't he?
Yeah, how much does that cost them? I bet it's more expensive than you think to buy a football team, but I think maybe I'd buy a footy team. I'm thinking of all kinds of stuff now. The podcast just got interesting like half an hour in.
Fuck. Get out of town. So some dude called Rob and Ryan Reynolds purchased Wrexham.
Rob McElhenney, right? That's his name.
Yeah. Do you know him, yeah?
Not personally.
Right.
We're not good mates, but I know he is.
Right. Guess how much they paid.
I don't.
Lad, I think you could afford.
Is it low?
Is it low?
All right, maybe you couldn't afford, but like...
I definitely couldn't afford
Let's take a punt. George?
I've got no idea. I've got no ballpark.
$500,000.
Nah, you're taking a piss, you. You can't even get an house for $500,000.
I would even Wrexham. What league are they in? Anyone know? I don't actually know what league they're in.
They're in league below League 2, I think. So
they're not even in League 2?
I can't remember what that one's called.
I don't know. 4 million quid.
$2.5 million. So what's that? 1.8 million quid?
7.8 million.
That'd be nothing to him.
Yeah.
I probably
Chump
wouldn't.
change?
I wouldn't buy somebody as shit as Wrexham though. Come on, they got to have some potential. Maybe I'd buy like.
Leeds United.
Nah, I wouldn't buy Leeds United. How much would it cost me to buy Arsenal?
Too much.
I wouldn't. It's already depressing.
Not just buying it, it's also like a transfer.
But can I buy them and then buy an Arsenal fan TV?
You need more money. Arsenal apparently is worth 2.8 billion.
Yeah, it's a big brand. That's maybe I don't know. Yeah, but it's a thought.
That's nuts. Well, I mean, yeah. I'd probably buy a football, maybe a rugby team.
What would it like an F1 team?
Fuck me, that is mad. Do you know how much money there is in...
Or like a MotoGP team or something like that. Or
Fucking hate motorsports.
You could buy a darts league. That's a real sport. It's a man's sport. Yeah, man. 184 million quid. I won't even know where to begin with that. I do think I'd lose a bit of direction though. I think it'd be. I don't know.
I think it would.
I think he changes a person with that amount of money.
I don't think I would. I think that's dependent on who you are, like intrinsically. I think it would give me a lot of stuff to can give me some vigor because I'd be thinking like I can spend this money on things which not stuff that I just want to enjoy.
Yeah.
On opportunities. Like I think opening a restaurant chain would be cool, and that's easily doable, like on a wide scale with 180 some million.
Yeah.
And then if you lose it, you've still got your whatever. Even let's say you keep 10 million in the bank, that's your comfort. Like if you lose the rest, it doesn't matter. Imagine being able you could put 100 into Bitcoin or something, and you could lose. It doesn't matter if you lose it, right?
Like KSI did.
I don't. Yeah, but what do you think? Was his Luna?
Luna, yeah.
Poor bloke.
Lost 5 million quid, I think he said.
Didn't he tweet about it laughing though? I don't know enough about it. I don't follow KSI, but like I think he put a laughy emoji, so he can probably afford to lose it. I don't know. Probably got paid that for fighting that other bum. What's his name?
Logan.
Yeah, I'm only joking. I know his name.
You dosser.
Not have anything against him. I just don't know. I'm not involved in all that.
Right. Well, those that are listening and watching, please put in the comments. Give us your shopping lists, and we can read it out at the next podcast. I want to see what you guys would spend it on.
If you got like some really interesting.
I feel like we've probably missed something like really glaringly obvious. Like imagine there'll be people sat there going, "You'd obviously buy this. You'd obviously do that. Why did you not think of that?" And we were just
That's the kind of beauty of the community, though, because we can follow it up like with a not a part 2, but we can read out maybe some of the suggestions.
Any suggestions from you, George? Like, is there anything that stood out that you would spend a wedge on?
I don't know. You both mentioned like buying just one house. I would personally get houses all over the place. If I had 180 million.
George is always thinking, isn't he?
George is a smart fella.
I'd constantly be going between different countries. I'd never be in one place.
There are visa implications there, though. You know what I mean? You've got to have visas for where you go.
I reckon you could buy visas.
Buy a green card.
Yeah, you could. For 184 million quid, they'll give you a green card. Because you're bringing too much to the economy, aren't you?
I would buy a holiday home, but like in probably
North
America.
Brighton or something?
No, not like a different country. North America, somewhere like as a landing pad to then kind of go on.
Oh, here we go. Now we're
Not a landing pad, like literally like a helicopter thing. I mean, like as somewhere that you could get to easily and then commute to other places from. But yeah.
That's a shout, that, yeah. Travelling.
Good thinking,
I didn't think about that now.
And some weight gainer too. Year supply of weight gain.
Oh, yeah. I'd get a personal trainer.
Right. How long's that been running for?
40 minutes.
Ah, nice little condensed one for you there, kids.
Have we got any guests lined up yet? No? Could put some crickets in there, chirping. keep cancer on us. That's what it is, man. There we go. That was what was that episode number? Feels like 406, but I think it's at 29 or something. That's what we would spend 10 million quid on. Please let us know in the comments because we're very interested to hear what you would spend your dosh on. And if you've got any ideas, this is a good one. If you've got any ideas for future episodes, because we keep getting pie-faced by guests, then let us know in the comments and we'll do an episode around whatever the heck you like. We'll catch you in the next one.
Peace.